The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, Steve Murray here with Insurance Agency Marketing Service, the Executive Vice President here in charge of some of the marketing and, I guess in charge of marketing incentives, business processing, all that stuff. But my favorite thing that I get to do is talk to you all every once in a while with Mr. Pimper and do some of the business coaching and things that we do. And today we're going to talk about 401k and IRA rollovers and retirement seminars and how Dave has used the seminars on the subject matter to really gain quite valuable, some good clientele, some folks that have done business with him for years and years from seminars on this subject matter. So should be a good meeting today. We're going to zip through a couple of things. I know that you're going to have questions along the way. If something happens and a poll should come up, I would hope that you could answer that poll rather quickly for me, and then we can get moved on. If you have any questions that arise, go ahead and ask those questions via your keyboard. Just type them in and hit send, and I'll get them asked of Dave or answer them if I can myself. So here we go. We're off and running. Hopefully. Here we go. Moving a little slow. There we go. So a couple things I want to make sure you're all aware of. One is our RPM program. We send out checks on RPM. That's when you refer a producer to us and he does business, then we're going to send you a small percentage of a bonus on every piece of business that referee does with us. So it's a great little program. It could add up to thousands, and does in fact add up to thousands for many of our producers out there. So I hope you'll take advantage of that program. Second thing, the way that we put money in the pockets of our producers on a regular basis, on an incentive basis, is our marketing reimbursement program. Again, pretty straightforward. When you write an application, it goes in, gets issued, you get paid. You also get money dropped into your marketing reimbursement account. That account is set up to match dollar for dollar what you spend on your marketing. You send us a receipt and we send you a check. So great way to build your marketing budget, and we sure appreciate the opportunity to help with your marketing along the way. I want to make sure, too, we've got a number of folks on here with us today that are new producers with us. A lot of folks don't necessarily understand or take advantage of this program when they're with us. So I want you to make sure that if you're new with us, just take note of this program and take advantage of it. So for new producers, that's folks that have been with us for less than 180 days. They can claim at 3 different levels, and you can see the different levels that are available to you. One of them, for instance, if you look at the 500,000 level, which equates dollar for dollar to annuity premium. I think we count single premium life premium about 1.5 times. We count target premium life and med sup premium about 12, 13 times, somewhere in there. So all of that goes towards qualifying at those various levels. But you can see that one of them would get you right in the seminar business with Dave Pimper. And we're going to talk about seminars here today. So if you say, hey, look, I want to get in the seminar business, I like what Dave has to say, I need the coaching to make sure I'm going to be successful at it, we can get you in that seminar business and take care of your first mailing, pay for Dave's coaching, and get everything you need in your hands to be successful. So great way to get started with us. And you can pick your own travel package. You can pick a Social Security mailing. You can pick to just add straight to your marketing reimbursement account if you want to. A lot of different things that you can do, and I hope you'll all take advantage of that. It's one of our programs that more often than not, that's probably an overstatement, but there are times that it happens that I call up a guy and say, hey, you haven't claimed your new producer bonus yet. And he's like, what's that? And so I want to make sure that all of you out there that are new with us, make sure that you're aware of that program and strive toward it. Great back office support here. So if you've ever done business with us at any level, you know this. The folks out there that haven't, I always say this is a hard thing for us to sell because not one of my competitors is going to say our service is not very good. They're all going to tell you it's great. But I will guarantee you that if we stood all of our competitors up and we all stood in line and said, okay, who's best at service, they'd probably all wait for us to stand forward because our service is just second to none out there. We're going to help you from the submission and commission process every step of the way. You're going to know exactly what's going on with your business, and that frees you up to do the things that you do best. So we try and take that off your hands. So let us help you with that. Whether you need help develop it on your next sale, you need to find the right product. Whether you know the right product, and now you need to make sure you're going to get appointed and get your training done and get everything you need and get that in place, or whether you're already set up and all that. Now all you need to submit an app. We're really good, and we're going to take care of your business all the way through the process. We've got a great team built just for that. Got some great turnkey solutions here from the creative marketing department. If you haven't talked to Jacob or Sean and said, hey, tell me what you guys do there and what you can help me with, I would recommend that you do that. Jacob Tedlock, Sean Crawford kind of are the point people on the creative side. So if you need business, you need logo, you need letterhead, whatever you need to help get your business off of zero and get it going, they can help you with building that up. Most of it, or a lot of it, is done at no cost. Some of it takes a little bit of money, and you can use your marketing reimbursement dollars for that, printing up your letterhead, or if you need some Facebook advertising done, or you need a website, whatever. We can't do it all for free, but the key is that they know what you need. They've done it for other folks. They can help you do it rather quickly, and they're good at it. So take advantage of the creative team. Website, if you haven't looked at the website, I would recommend that you take just a few minutes and do that. And what I would really recommend is you take a few minutes and do that with your sales director. So say, hey, look, I see your website. Tell me how these, tell me about this resource library. How's that work? What's out there? And let them walk you through it and see what they do that can help you. If you are looking for, the term quoter, if you want to do an annuity products comparison, whatever you need to do, we're glad to do it for you. If you want to do it on the website, you can do that as well. That's all, the website's got a lot of nice little tools out there that can help you grow your business. So take advantage of that if you're not already. Retirement Analyzer, a great little product here. So pretty simple. A lot of people need to know where they're at and where they're going in retirement, and sometimes that's hard to quantify. The Retirement Analyzer makes it very easy to quantify and to report and to help people get on track for, hey, this is what I'm looking to accomplish and where am I on that. So if you want us to help you with that, the Retirement Analyzer, we're going to take care of the cost for you. So we'll get you right online. We pay them a monthly fee for access, and all of our guys that do business with us have access to that at no cost. Give Marcus Soller here a call and say, hey, Marcus, walk me through that Retirement Analyzer, or give me a username and let me try that on a client, or let me try it on myself. That's a great way to get to know the Retirement Analyzer, and it really helps kind of put into black, white, red, green, yellow, blue, everything that you would want to know about where you are on your retirement journey. So take advantage of the Retirement Analyzer. That's a great tool, getting better all the time. Wealth management, how many people out there are RIAs or are thinking about becoming an IAR? We can help you with that. And the difference between the IAMS wealth management RIA and some of the others you've seen out there is ours is really catered to folks that come from an insurance background to begin with, because that's our background. So can we help anyone out there? I think from a service standpoint and help on the sale and walking through the process, we give guys a level of service that they just weren't used to with their old RIA, and I just don't think probably in most cases it doesn't exist, because as you know, a lot of RIAs see themselves as kind of an administrative outlet for you. We're a little bit more hands-on. We're going to help you through the process. We've got great tools, very inexpensive monthly fee, and our payouts are very strong. If you're interested at all in looking at IAMS Wealth, what I would like you to do is just check yes really quick on this poll, and we will put you in touch with Charles or Mike or Joan, and they'll walk you through the differences, what you can expect from IAMS Wealth, how they operate, what they do, what the tools that you get. And if you're thinking, maybe I want to become an IAR, we're very well set up for that. So we can help you through the process, get you your books ordered, help you get a course picked out in your area if you want to do that. We've had guys tell us, on the first of the month they want to get their Series 65, and by the end of the month they have it. And part of that is just knowing what to do, what are the next steps, and they can help walk you through that process. And I would say the core of our group are folks that are relatively new to the wealth management business, the producers that kind of come from a background of insurance. We've got probably 15 or 18 IARs that came to us that were already in that business, and the feedback from them has been resounding. Hey, this is the best thing that I ever did. I get so much more support and help and assistance along the way. And so if that's of interest to you, if that kind of one-on-one support is of interest to you, just simply check yes on that poll. If you're pretty happy where you're at, that's not something that you want to do, maybe you're settled in and don't think that that's going to be a big part of your business going forward, just check no. We understand that as well, certainly. And I'm going to close that poll out here in about 30 seconds. So and if you have a question about that, type it in, ask it. I'll get it answered as quickly as possible. Got a great team over there between Mike and Charles Jr. and Joan, that have really helped some guys turn a corner, and even guys that have struggled in building their assets under management business. They have really helped them turn a corner and get that rolling. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. If you were unable to vote, just give me a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. If you have a question, give me a call. I'd be glad to spend some time with you. I'll shoot you out that phone number here in a second so that you'll have it after the event as well. That we'll get moving on. So we got a 2-day training coming up. We'll do it sometime in late October. It'll be in Des Moines. If you have interest in joining us for one of our annuity and life academies, what I would like you to do is to, again, I'm going to launch it here real quick. Just put yes on this poll. As you can imagine, really one of the more sought after events, I think, in the industry right now. And we've been doing them for 10 or 12 years. We've got a really great reputation for making it a sales and marketing based academy. We'll talk a little about product because you need that too. But most of the folks that we bring in, product is not the issue. How do I grow my business? How can I meet more clients? What do I need to do to firm up the way that I look to my clients, the way that I look to prospects on the internet, and digitally speaking, how can I firm up my branding just in general? What can I do to market my business? Is it seminars? Is it more mailing? Is it Facebook advertising? So we go over a lot of that stuff at the Life and Annuity Academy to help you grow your business. And it's all on us. So we're going to take care of your travel. We're going to take care of your lodging. We're going to take care of your meals. You are going to be out of your office for 2 to 3 days. So you got to be prepared for that. But if you have interest in joining us, if you haven't joined us in the last couple of years and you have interest in joining us, certainly check yes on that poll. We'll get you out a copy of the agenda. We'll get you out a copy of the registration form. And you can take a look at the agenda, see if it's what you have interest in. If it is, then complete the registration form, send it back, and we'll get you in. And we'll do about 3, 4, 5 academies a year. And so we'll get you into one if it's a good fit for you. So by all means, if you have interest, hit yes. Again, most of you are quick to vote. I appreciate that very much. If for some reason, again, you can't vote, you see our 800 number on the screen. It's 800-255-5055. Let us know if you have interest by phone as well. And I can also send you out a copy of the agenda and the registration for your review. All good stuff. Number again, 800-255-5055. I'm going to close that poll out. Moving right along here today. Many of you may or may not be aware, we do kind of a convention/marketing summit. We do one about every 18 months. We take care of your expenses. We take care of your guest expenses. We always go to a nice place. The meetings are try and keep them to a minimum so that you can get some relaxation in as well. And we do take care of everything. The next one is going to be at the Ritz-Carlton at Naples, a beautiful location. What you can't see in that picture, which we really need to fix that picture, is they've got a beautiful beach, as you might imagine. It's on the Gulf Coast. It'll be a great time to be out there. We'll do a little golf. We'll go to the beach. We'll have plenty of shopping, and we'll have a lot of fun together. And we'll throw in a meeting or two and make sure that we bring some value to our qualifiers as well. We'd like to have you join us. We're going to be there August 25th through the 29th. Invitation period started January 1 and runs through June 30th, so there's still plenty of time to qualify, almost a year to qualify. So we'd love to have you join us out there. Again, if you haven't talked to your sales director about that, I would really love you to give them a call and say, hey, tell me how I can get qualified for your IAMS 2019 Marketing Summit. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our guest speaker today. Just a little background on Dave. Dave is 30 plus years in the business, literally probably more than 510 public seminars, very good in the seminar business with a lot of experience, which is how you get good in the seminar business. One of the other things you need to be successful is you need to have a good knowledge base and good assistance along the way. Dave has been very good with our producers year in and year out and helping them through the processes, not just how do I do a seminar, but asking or answering their questions, whether it be on Social Security or in this case on qualified funds, and then helping them with the process along the way. And you don't get good at that if you don't want to help other folks, which Dave and his team at Lazarus Coaching have done a great job with that. And you don't get that way if you haven't had the experience that Dave had. So what Dave would tell you is that the reason he's good at what he does and good at helping people at what he does is because he's made all the mistakes. Now, I know he's not made them all, but over 25, 30 years of doing public seminars, you're going to make a lot of them and get a lot of the answers, a lot of solutions figured out. So we're really proud to have Dave as part of our organization and helping our guys out. Done a great job over the years and doing just that. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mr. Dave the Pimper of Lazarus Coaching.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Steve, can you hear me okay?
I hear you great, Dave. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we'll probably see if I can get the controls. We've had a little catch on this in the last couple of weeks, but I will certainly try. I appreciate everybody on the phone call today on the webinar. We're going to talk about seminar marketing. And seminar marketing today's, it's not your granddad's seminar marketing. This is a proven track. I actually put together the 401k IRA rollover game plan a couple, two and a half years ago. And we've got a lot of folks that are using, people just want information on this. And if you're working the pre-retired and retired group, there is no doubt that this is going to be kind of right up your alley, because this is where those big monies roll over, transfer over, etc. Now, the seminar really comes kind of into two phases. The first phase is this webinar is to educate you a little bit on retirement planning, but the second one is of showing what a seminar like this can do to bring new prospects in. So let's just do this, and I call this, what do you really know? So I want you to, I'm going to read the question, you write down the answer. Let's see how you do over those 5 questions. So let's say you make your initial Roth IRA contribution for the 2015 tax year on April 15th of 2016, which you can do up to the tax filing date. How many years do you have to wait to withdraw all of your money out tax-free? Earnings and, of course, the growth. If you guess 5 years, that's only if you would have put your money in on January the 2nd. What basically happens is if you put it in on as late as April 15th, it's 3 years, 8.5 months. Why? Because all start dates on Roth IRAs for the 5-year time period start on 1/1 of the tax year you're putting it in on. Interesting. What type of trust do you have to establish for your IRA when your intent is to make sure your designated human beneficiaries within that trust are able to stretch out or inherit the tax deferral for their lifetimes? What type of trust? You need some kind of a living beneficiary, so it's a look-through or a see-through. Sees through to see who that living heartbeat beneficiary is. It's a type of a conduit trust. Has to be that, or you can't stretch it out. What type of trust do you have to establish for your non-IRA, so non-qualified, with an annuity when your intent is to make sure the designated human beneficiaries within that trust are able to stretch out the tax deferral? You know what it is? It's a trick question. Can't be done. 5-year tax rule applies, yeah. And lastly, what does the designation of per stirpes pertaining to beneficiaries mean? There's per capita, meaning per head, and per stirpes, meaning per bloodline, or per the root, or by the branch. If it goes down through to the children, if that main beneficiary has not been changed and is deceased. Yeah. Now, here's what happens is, and I'm going to go through those pretty quickly today because you don't have to know, all the language, but I want to show you how this is a balanced approach in seminar marketing. So this is one of the first slides we have, potential rollover options for your 401k, twin sister for nonprofit 403b, or a 457 deferred comp plan with the U.S. government. 401k, of course, is for profit. And most of the people you talk to do have a 401k that are for profit. So first of all, you could do nothing. You could roll it over into a company retirement plan. You could take a lump sum distribution. There is one reason that that's worthwhile. You could convert it to a Roth IRA, or you can roll it over or transfer it into a traditional. Then what I do, let's talk about do nothing. Let's talk about the do nothing then. So will your existing plan force you to take your investments out? Well, normally if it's over 5,000, which I'm sure everyone in this room that's the case, they won't. But if you do nothing, then your monies will stay in the existing plan, okay? Nothing's going to move. So why leave your investments in your current 401k? And then we talk about the 55 rule, 55 age rule, which most people don't know about. But if you're let go, you're fired, you're changed jobs, laid off, what happens is if you're 55 years or older, you can take money out of that without having any kind of a 10% penalty. Still pay taxes on it, but no 10% penalty. Now, if you're only 54, they do it. No, you can't. Can't do it once you're 55. Got to be 55 or over. So it's that window from 55 to 59 and a half. After 59 and a half, of course, you don't have to take your 10% penalty. We're talking a little bit about ERISA, federal law. 401ks are usually have a higher protection level than IRAs. In the state of Nebraska, where I'm from, it doesn't really make too much difference. But why would you leave it there? Familiarity of investment choices. Yeah. This hypothetical will say you got Vanguard or Fidelity. Hey, I'm used to those funds. I know how they respond to markets, etc. They may offer lower fees, but they may offer higher fees. Sometimes it's just an easier choice to do nothing. Those are considerations. May not be the best thing, but it's easy. See how I kind of roll through that, okay? Roll your retirement funds into a new company retirement plan if they allow that. And I talk about service and guidance and loan provisions are kind of the new things here compared to leaving it at your retirement plan. And now I'm going to go through those faster because we got limited time today. But if you take a lump sum distribution, yeah, it's just taxes ordinary income. If you take it from your company retirement plan, the government's going to withhold 20% federal taxes, which is mandatory. They don't trust you're going to pay. What's a good reason to lump sum? It's called net unrealized appreciation. One of the folks I do securities work also, one of my folks that I am principal for, Office of Supervisory Jurisdiction, just did a large net unrealized appreciation transaction from a rollover, direct rollover. That's the only reason they got it, because no one else had told about it. But if you've got money in your retirement plan, say 401k, and you've got stock from that company, so for a hypothetical, you work for IBM and you got IBM stock in there. You work for Exxon, you got Exxon stock. You work for Microsoft, you got Microsoft stock. If that stock is highly appreciated, which many times it is if you've been putting into dollar cost averaging through the years, what you can do by keeping that stock separate, rolling it over into a personal account, rolling the rest of your monies by the end of the year over to a retirement account, you can go from a ordinary income tax to a long-term capital gain tax when you sell that money. Now, what happens is that money gets sold, the taxes are paid according to when that transfer is. The government does want their money, but it's a long-term capital gain, not an ordinary. And it can save you lots of money. So we have 4 or 5 slides like this. Experience is a good teacher, but the fees are high. Of course, this is not copyrighted. I used to do some copyrighted material that we had copyright rights to with some illustrations that were comical, but it's just easier to go in and use quotes like this. And I talk about, for example, with required and minimum distributions have to be out by December the 31st. If you don't take them out, if you take them out one day late, you're supposed to take out $10,000, they'll fine you $5,000. And you got to pay taxes on the whole $10,000. It's one of the steepest fines. So you want to do things in the correct manner, in the right order. If there are any questions, certainly type them on in. A Roth IRA, we talk about Roths. They're tax-free. The 5-year-old rule we know now could be as short as 3-year, 8.5 months, but there's no required minimum distributions. If you're making wage income or 1099 income, not passive, but work income, you can contribute all the way up no matter what age bracket. Yeah, pretty cool. So we talk about Roths. We talk about Roth conversions, converting IRA money traditional into Roth, the ins and outs of that. The big holdup normally is paying taxes on the money, but we do a lot of partial conversions. Now, I'm going through this faster than I would. The actual workshop takes about an hour. We're going to cover this in about 20, 25 minutes, so much faster than what I would do it, much more information at the workshop itself. How to recharacterize a Roth? Oops, can't do it anymore. The 2018 tax reform with the Tax Reduction and Tax Cuts and Jobs Act did away with doing the oops. Oh, I converted, now I'm going to recharacterize. You cannot do it any longer. 401k to an IRA. So we talked about 401k to another company retirement plan, but you can take it to an individual retirement account. Can't be joint, it's an individual. And you can roll that over without any tax consequence. There's indirect rollovers and there's direct rollovers. And then we talk about an indirect rollover. That's when the check's mailed directly to you. If it's on the company plan, they're going to withhold 20%. Now you could pay it back, but the government's not going to go in and pay you that back. They're taking out 20% for taxes, thinking that you might jump ship on them for taxation. Now, if it's $100,000, you can put that $20,000 in. If it's $200,000, you can put that $40,000 in. But that comes out of your pocket. Not everybody has that kind of money to put back into the retirement plan and make it whole. You can only do one indirect rollover a year, where with direct rollovers, you can do as many as you want. A direct rollover goes from custodian to custodian, custodian to custodian. So what happens is it goes from XYZ custodian to ABC custodian. No 60-day rule, no 20% rule. You can do as many as you want in a 12-month period. So IRA, direct rollover transfer. You can do it with an existing IRA. You can put it into a brand new IRA. But many people do that because there's more investment options. Continued tax deferral, far fewer rules with an IRA than a 401k. We talk about all the beneficiary options. Here's 7 that we actually we're talking to more in depth. It says I've got all the money I'll ever need if I die by 4 o'clock. Well, you know what? Hope that never happens to you. It's another slide we have that's kind of comical. Stretching out beneficiaries. We talk about this in detail. How to inherit an IRA, stretch it out. Talk about naming your estate, your trust. So beneficiaries is a big deal. Many advisors just gloss over that. We do not. We take our time because beneficiaries is a very simple way to estate plan for your client at no cost to them. How to inherit an IRA. We just ran across one that was improperly registered, and there has not been any problem yet over the last 5 years they've had it, but we registered it properly, like John Doe Senior IRA, when they passed for the benefit of their son, junior beneficiary. There's a couple, 3 ways you can do it, but this is the way we use. When the RMDs need to be taken, it's a little bit different for an inherited IRA. The RMDs are a little bit different than a regular IRA for required minimum distributions. Just a lot of good information in the seminar. We talk about per capita, remember that's per head for beneficiaries, versus per stirpes by bloodline. We talk about transfer of death. That's a beneficiary on a non-IRA account, like a bank account, savings bonds, could be a personal brokerage account, a joint brokerage account. It works just like bypasses the probate, goes directly to the beneficiaries. We talk about RMDs. First year, you've got some flexibility. It'd actually be April 1st of the next year. So say April 1st of 2019, you can still go in and pay for the 218. Doesn't have to be by the end of the year, off of the very first year. And that's for the value as of December the 31st of 217. So it gives you 15 and a half months, or 15 months, excuse me, to go in for that first RMD if you want to. But we talk about QLAC, Qualified Longevity Annuity. That's only in general standpoint that we talk about, but the government has pushed. I'm not a big believer, but it does speak some people in. It's a way to go in and to defer some of your monies in the required minimum distribution, especially if you have a large amount of money. Arthur Godfrey, radio host and early television host. I am proud to be paying taxes in the U.S. The only thing is, I could be just as proud with half the money. If you get people laughing a little bit, it normally helps. In-service non-hardship withdrawal plans, if you don't know what that is, you should. That's when a company, normally at the age of 59 and a half, will allow its employees to take money out of their 401k without there being any kind of hold up or lockup period. Now, you can go and transfer it into an IRA, still working with the company, haven't been let go, haven't quit, haven't retired, but it opens up the availability to that money. And I've worked with a lot of in-service. Every single person you should call, and instead of calling having them check it out, you just ask them for their statement, and you call Fidelity or Vanguard or T. Rowe Price or Mass Mutual or American Funds or whoever it is, and just ask them, is there an in-service non-hardship withdrawal plan available for this money? So it's a takeout at 59 and a half or over, 59, or they call it the 59 and a half rule. Cool. So way, if they got 400,000, many times you can work maybe the guaranteed part of that. Maybe it's 100,000 that they don't have a good guarantee. They have a stable fund, but still goes up and down in value. Where the cap's going up right now, yeah, there's some pretty competitive rates when it comes to fixed index against 401k, so something to certainly entertain for the client. Any questions? Punch them on in, and I'll answer them for you. I talk a little more about in-service withdrawal plans, spend a little bit more time because it's an important topic. If you don't know Social Security, you may not have this slide, but I'll tell you what, you should know Social Security. I mean, 94% of all Americans that retire or getting up in retirement age have the opportunity to take Social Security. That's a lot. 94% don't have annuities, 94% don't have stocks, 94% don't have savings accounts. Yeah, but Social Security is one of those very unique government pensions that affect most people. But you talk about consider using your IRA money and then delaying Social Security. Yeah, because you know what? From 62 to 66, if you're born from 43 to 54, your full retirement age is 66. 62 to 66, your money grows about 6% a year, actually 25%. But from 66, for full retirement age, up to 70, those 8 years, it grows 8%. And this with COLAs. So you have 2% COLA this year. Next year, it looks like it's going to be about 3% or just over, maybe 3.1% cost of living increase, highest we've had for a long time. So all of a sudden, 6% grows to 8%, and 8% grows to 10%. Where can you get a guaranteed investment at 8% income stream? You can't. It's impossible. So you might want to delay taking Social Security if you're going to live long enough. You don't need the money right now because you can supplement other income sources. And this is what we talk about. What can complement your Social Security? So there's a lot to think about. It's a great slide that I talk to my people. Now, when I'm closing here, I just say, hey, you got to, there's a no obligation for a consultation. So let's take out our workshop evaluation. It's a yellow sheet, and I'll say you can mark. If you mark yes, then we've got the next couple weeks that are sectioned off for appointments from this workshop and our other workshop. We do 2 workshops normally on a Tuesday, Thursday night. And we say mark down the day and the time, and then we will call you first in the morning. So put down a daytime phone number where we can call you, or you can call us right back. And I know you're busy, we're busy, so certainly give us a call, and then we'll set that time up. This is not a sale. Believe me, it's low-keyed. We're there to give you the best information on 401ks and retirement rollovers and beneficiaries and RMDs, Roth IRAs, Roth conversions that we possibly can. That's basically what I say. And then I do a promise to them. I say, leave their checkbook at home. We'll uncover one financial problem, whether we see you again or not, and give you an idea from that. And then we ask, ask yourself, what are the best rollover options for my company retirement plan? If you don't know, maybe you want to mark yes on that evaluation. Could a Roth conversion benefit me? I do my share of Roth conversions. How do I complement Social Security with my 401k? Only about 20% of all advisors and less than 5% of all John Q. Public know and can really understand how Social Security works. I do. We have 11-page color graphics analysis for your specifics on Social Security that we can hand out to you. Okay? So if you want to mark yes there, we can certainly get that report for you, which is customized. Could different investment choices benefit me? They could. They may not, but they could. How about beneficiaries? About inherited beneficiaries? Using trusts. Yeah, I have an expertise in that area. And last time, my wife says this, sometimes a second opinion, it's your very best opinion. Let me go to the next slide. I talk about George Foreman. I say everybody knows Big George, don't they? Yeah, he's still living? Yeah. He made a lot of money boxing in the heavyweight division, didn't he? You bet he did. Ton. But that isn't where he made the majority of his money. Folks, you know where George Foreman made the majority of his money? From the George Foreman Grill. Look it up. Google it. Use that Google machine. $136 million, not counting his overrides that he made, was the upfront money that the company paid to have George Foreman as a spokesperson. So here's how I end tonight, and here's how I end most of my workshops. Unless you've got your name on a grill, you probably need to mark yes and come in and see me. That's how I end. That's how everybody's laughing, kind of, and they just turn in their sheets. And next morning, we call everybody, and our whole goal is to get 10 appointments or more. If we get 10 appointments or more, the chance of us writing business is extremely high, multiple pieces of business. Steve, I'll kind of turn it over to you, see if there's any questions or any comments that came in. If Steve is there.
Oh, forgot to take myself off mute.
That's okay. That's okay.
So there are a few questions that have come up, and as is almost always the case, they want to know a little bit about how many people that you see and what your conversion ratio on that is. And I know that you go through the numbers and give it. I think it's good to do a little disclaimer on that, just so everybody's on the same page. We're all in the business of everybody being successful. So you need to walk through the numbers a little bit, Dave, and give us the examples.
Yeah, so this is averages, okay? So it could be higher, could be lower, depending on kind of your ability and how much time you're putting into study and how good of a presenter you are. But public seminars are not dead, not at all. They're different than they were 20, 30 years ago. But here's what we do. We mail out 6,000 pieces, 6,000. It's a big piece. Looks just like it came from a community college. It's 11 inches wide and 17 and a half inches long, triple folded, cardstock, full color, front and back. But it talks about, your instructor will be, the class time is, just like if it's going to be held at a library or a college or somewhere educational, museum, somewhere educational in nature if possible. No, and there's no meals, so you don't have to waste money on meals on this. It doesn't need strong enough to not have a meal. But what happens is we mail out 6,000, we want to get back, if we can get back 0.75, we get back 35, 40, 45 people between 2 nights, I'm very happy. Of that, you're normally going to have 26, 27 buying units. Husband and wife being a buying unit. 2 single people are 2 buying units. And then from there, we hope to close half for an appointment. So that would be 12, 13 people would come in for an appointment. And we've had very, very good success from the retirement standpoint of people going in and saying, I just need options of what I can do with this money. You're getting them right at that very opportune time of that transference of wealth. So if my goal, I mean, I don't need to have $1 million of investments every workshop, workshop mailing. We do 2 workshops at every mailing. But if I have 250, 300,000 that comes on in from a workshop, I'm really happy. I'm happy. I've made my money. I've put money in the bank. I've been, I've helped some prospects to become clients, and it's just a real good system. And besides, I have an expertise in retirement planning, as I do in Social Security claiming. But when I go through each slide with you, it has all the language, and I wrote all the language. It went through FINRA with blazing colors, no problem. So this is if you've done seminars before and they have not been successful or as successful as you wanted, did you have someone like myself, Dave Pemper, with Lazarus Coaching, that's helped you through, hand in hand with all the language, what to say, how to set up the room. We have a real hands-on mail house that we'll introduce you to. We have a designated person to work with you. Lynn here in our office gets you all the documents, and she works hand in hand with all of my coaching seminar people. So it's a pretty well-oiled machine. We'd love to hear from you. And not everyone, but the ones that jump on board, normally I can say is that you see very, very good results in the prospects, the amount of money that comes in your firm in the future.
Dave, we've got a couple folks aboard with us that one that actually works with you with Social Security seminars, and another that has done some Social Security seminars and has, it sounds like, lesser expenses, but hasn't had good results. I thought those would be particularly good questions for you because I know that you do both. So when you compare the two side by side, what do you see the benefits of one over the other, and kind of your recommendation there?
To me, Steve, and I'm not being coy about this, but it's like saying, well, Dave, tell me what you think the difference is of an apple and an orange as far as the taste is concerned. It's like, well, if you like sweeter, then the orange is better than the apple. If you like crunchier, then the apple is probably better than the orange. And that's a little bit of the way here. I will say this, though. Probably you get a few more people there with Social Security, because when people come to a 401k IRA rollover, they know that presenter is looking for money to roll over for them to invest, whether it be from an annuity or it needs to be from wealth building products. So I would say you have a few less people that come to 401k. I would say that the people, it's more open, it's more upfront. Hey, here's what we're doing. We're talking about 401k rollovers. We ask them, in both of them, we ask them to bring their investment statements or saving statements or life insurance statements on in, so we can look at those. I would say people know less about Social Security than they do 401ks just on the outset, but once you peel down the onion 1 or 2 layers, most people just know the bare minimum about 401ks. And I'll tell you, because most of us work with pre-retired and retired, because that's the age that people have money and there's changes in their lives with retiring, maybe moving, there's things in taking an income where they didn't before for their assets, Social Security. What happens is that whole flummox of change, we can really guide them, help them, handhold them through the kind of that 3 or 4 year period of change, because there is a lot of change.
Yeah.
So is there one better than the other? I'm going to say no. I don't know. Have we probably written more business from Social Security? We have more people that probably do that than the 401k, but I think the 401k is a hidden gem. When's the last time that you've seen mailed in your area just specifically on 401k and IRA rollover? It might be a bullet point, but specifically, it seems like with Social Security, there's more people doing just Social Security workshops because there's really no derivative or tangible or a tangent from that. So this is a unique workshop, one of the few that are on the market like it. And we've had good success with it, Steve, as you know.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know that's the case. When I look at the two side by side, just from my perspective, which is a little bit different from yours, it seems like guys that have kind of had some experience with seminars or have maybe a little bit more comfort talking in front of groups, they seem to do better. I think the 401k seminar is probably derives more better customers, more customers and better customers. I don't even mean to have bad English. So,
Right.
In some ways, the 401k seminar seems to do better, and it certainly casts, I think, the average guy at a different light than maybe he is with his clients, because there's so much money in the qualified accounts, and people think and everybody knows kind of the very basics, but like you said, there are nuances to qualified funds that can literally make people thousands of dollars if done correctly. So,
Absolutely.
I really think that's, and Social Security, I always see that. It's a great entry level seminar for a guy to do. So if maybe you're not sure if you're going to be good at seminars, maybe that may not be the way to go. But I think long term, or even kind of midterm, I think this 401k seminars are probably a little bit better. Though, they're a little bit more expensive, aren't they, from your standpoint?
Well, because what happens, Social Security is a non-meal, and 401k is a meal seminar. But I will tell you right now, 401k and having a meal, having a little bit more social, it's not strong enough to have it on its own. But if you're going to pay $800-900 for meals, not that that's not an expense, but if you just get 2 or 3 more people that come and you get 2 more appointments, that's pretty inexpensive, because it might be one of those that really has a lot of money.
You bet. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, there's a couple of folks that I've replied to you here that I'm going to ask Dave to call you personally, because you had some questions that were a little bit more detailed about qualified funds and how they work. So I'm going to forward those to Dave and have him call you one-on-one. You probably all noticed too that I put up a poll that if you have interest. So if you want to learn more about 401k IRA rollover seminars, then I would obviously hit yes on that poll. If you're undecided, I'll try and help you decide here for just a second right now, because again, from our perspective, when we've seen guys and gals that have gotten into the seminar business and we look 2, 3, 4 years later, they just slowly rise to the top of the production board. And not to say that you get right out of the gate and all of a sudden, if you're struggling with your production or maybe doing $1 million or $2 million and you're trying to get to 6 or 7, that's going to happen immediately, because seminars, like anything you do marketing wise, has a momentum factor to it. But if you're looking at growing your business, you're willing to make a little commitment in terms of your time and education and obviously financial, then seminars, I just can't, if there's a better way to do it, I don't know what there is, just based on what we see practically in the producers that we work with day in and day out here at IAMS. So, and then having the right assistance along the way, I think, is the key. And I believe when folks get into seminars and maybe do 1 or 2 and then say, boy, that didn't work, I think that's the reason is that they don't have what they need in terms of that assistance along the way. And it's not, like a group message that you get that's going to fix it for you. I mean, having the one-on-one and say, okay, what'd you do here? What do we need to do different there? What's working here? What's working there? I think you need that one-on-one. And nobody does it better than Dave Pimper. When we worked with other folks, we've had a lot of our producers say, hey, I worked with so-and-so group and this is what they did. And it was just worked so much better with Dave. So I know, in realistic terms, that what Dave has been able to do on the one-on-one basis to help people through the process has made the difference. And so that's why we continually offer Dave's services. We feel just fortunate, really, to have someone with Dave's talent and abilities working with us on our team to help our producers, because in the end, that's our goal here at IAMS, is to help our producers get successful, because that's how we get successful, and everybody wants to win. So if that's something you have a question about in your mind and think, I don't know if this is the time to do that, I'm going to tell you that now is the time. There's just too much opportunity right now with the baby boomers coming through. We've been hearing about that forever now, but the marketplace is changing right now. If you guys haven't noticed it out there, there's more people that are interested in some of the safety and security things that we offer. There's more people right now that are kind of in a state of flux about what do I do. There's enough changes going on in the marketplace with interest rates going up and the market getting a little bit jittery. That's got people kind of on edge. The opportunity is now. If you combine the right opportunity with the right process, you're going to see some success. And this is a great time to get in there and go at it. And so I hope you check yes. Now, some people know this isn't for them. You gotta, you know that better than us. By all means, if that's the case, hit no, and let's find another way to help you get successful, because we can help you. Dave, is there anything that you want to add? Because I know we're dribbling a little bit over time here today.
No, I appreciate that all the producers. I mean, we had for a Monday, I think it's a pretty big crowd.
Yep.
And thank you very much for taking the time. You know, I'm a producer just like you are. I've been in the business since 1981. My first 3 years were in insurance, and then since that time period, I've mixed it between mostly guarantees. I do fixed index business, but I also do my share of securities business. But whether you're insurance alone or your securities and insurance, everybody needs to get in front of a qualified prospect. That's what we yearn for in our business, because without that, you can be the best presenter, the best closer, the best advisor, and if you see no one, then it's pretty rough sailing. So this is a way to go in, inject your business on an ongoing way with seminars that really do work. So hopefully I hear from you, and have a great rest of your week, and hopefully it's very productive for you.
Thank you, Dave. Great way to finish off. We did have a couple people that didn't vote on either poll, so my guess is that the reason for that is that you're having a technical difficulty, or maybe just listening instead of looking online. So if that's the case and you want to chat, whether it's about coaching or our academy or IAMS Wealth or whatever, certainly give us a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. We'll answer any questions that we can and help you along your way. As I mentioned, we are honored to have someone of Dave's talent and expertise working with our producers. Does a great job for them, seeing it time and time again work. We'd love to help you. If we can, that's great. If you have any questions, need something further, give me a call here at the office. I want to close out by saying thank you to you and everyone out there for taking just a couple of minutes here with us this morning. And when you're looking to build your business and grow your business, we want to help you do that. And the fact that you take some time out on a Monday morning when I know you've got other things up your sleeve that you got to take care of, I certainly appreciate that. So give us a call. Let us know how we can help you. Thank you for your business. We've got a lot of our regular producers on the phone with us, so I want to thank you personally for your business. And for those of you that haven't gotten on board with us or need some assistance, give me a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. Have a great finish to your week. I look forward to chatting with you all. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, everybody.